everybody, it's Emily from Arc Schooling, and today I'm going to film my July TBR. So I have a kind of a busy month, and I don't know how much of this I'm actually going to get to, but I have some freedom now in my reading selections because I finished the reading portion of grade 10. I'm still working on grade 10 for Build Your Library. I have to do all the hard stuff now. I finished the fun part, which was reading all the books and lining everything up. Now I gotta type it all up and put it together in lesson plans. I'm still working on that. I do have some freedom in my reading choices, so I've got a lot of books that I've been like really anticipating getting to. So my pile is a little ridiculous. I might only get to 3 of them. I don't know. We're gonna see what happens. So without further ado, let me just show you what I've got. So I'm gonna start with what I'm actually reading right now, which is Blood for Blood by Ryan Groudon. I've been anticipating this so much. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to be reading it finally. I am like, I don't know, not quite halfway through, but it's so good. Like, I'm so into it right now. I just want to stop everything else and read, but I can't because I do have things to do, but it's really good. I really am enjoying the story so far. This is the sequel to Wolf by Wolf, which I read in, I want to say, I read it in September or October. I think September. And I loved it. It's a World War II revisionist history where the Axis powers win the war. So Germany is kind of taken over the world, and there's very few Jews left. There's a resistance still, and the main protagonist, Yael, is part of that. And she has this ability to skin shift, and her mission is to take out Hitler. And it's amazing. It's motorcycle race in the first book. This book is more about the aftermath of what happens after the first book, and it picks up right where it left off, and it like just goes. It doesn't let up. They're just really awesome. I'm loving it. It's so good. With my kids, currently with my teens, we're reading Eva. We're still reading Eva. We're going slow. It's taken some time to get back into the swing of things with reading, and I am enjoying the discussion we're having with this. This is a really thought-provoking book. It's one of those slow burn kind of stories. It's not super exciting. There's not a lot of action, but it's really interesting, and it really brings up a lot of talk about ethics and that sort of thing, animal rights. So I think it's a really great story. My teens are iffy. I think my daughter likes it. My sons are, they need big adventure excitement, so they're not as into it, but I think that by the end they're going to appreciate it quite a lot. And with my youngest, we're currently reading Aerith's Birthday by Avi, and she's loving this series. She's obsessed with it. She loves Aerith. He's her favorite character, and so we're really enjoying this little voyage into Dimwood Forest. And together we're reading Mercy Watson, To the Rescue. We're buddy reading. We kind of tag team it, so I read a page and she reads a page, and we go back and forth. This is the first chapter book she's ever read, so it's kind of exciting. And up next, I think with her, we're going to read The Good Good Pig. And it's about Cy Montgomery's experience with her pet pig. And she adopts the runt of a litter, and she names him Christopher Hogwood, and this is kind of like a chronicle of their life together. It sort of sounds similar-ish to Marley and Me, and I loved Marley and Me. I think that we'll like this. With the Read Like a Mom book club this month, we're going to be reading 1984 by George Orwell. I'm really excited because I have never read this. I don't know how I've never read it, but I've never read it. It's absurd. So I'm excited to finally get a chance to read this book. And I was debating doing it as a read aloud with my teens, but since we're going so slow with Eva, I don't know if that's going to happen. I might just read it to myself, and then maybe we'll read it together later once we've finished with everything else we've got going on. But I'm excited to pick this up. And if you want to join us this month to read 1984, in the Read Like a Mom book club, I will leave the information down below so you can just click through the link. It's a Goodreads group. We read and then we chat. It's super laid back. Anyone can jump in. I know it's called Read Like a Mom, but you don't have to be a mom to join us. It's just a really laid back reading club. I'm excited about talking about this book with everybody. And then these 3 books are sort of like, we'll see what happens. I don't know. Beyond what I'm reading right now, I don't know how much I'm actually going to get to. Like I said, I have a ton of books that I really want to read. And we'll just see which ones I end up picking up. First up, I have Unholy. This is the sequel to Unwind, which I read a year or 2 ago, I think. And this is by Neil Shusterman. I loved Unwind. I really, really enjoyed it. I encouraged my kids to read it. One of my sons, Riley, picked it up and liked it so much he requested the rest of the series. So I bought the rest of the series for him. He's on the last book right now, and he's been bugging me to read the rest of the series. And I told him as soon as I had time, I would. So this is probably the next book I'm going to read because I want to be able to talk to him about it. He's read the whole series, and I don't know anything about it besides what happens in the first book. So I'm excited. This series is, I don't know if it quite is dystopian. I don't know how to label what it is, but it's really interesting. Neil Shusterman is so good at these crazy premises that, like, you don't really know where he gets these ideas from, but he turns them into these crazy stories that sound so plausible. In Unwind, it's about the aftermath of the Second Civil War in America, which was fought over reproductive rights. And so abortion is completely illegal. But after the age of 13, if you have any issues with your kid, you can have them unwound, where they're like harvested for organs, and because they're technically not killed, all of their organs are alive, they're not really killing your child. But it's so bizarre. Like, why would anyone do that? But they do, and it's so crazy to think, like, what would drive a person to do that? But so many, like, medical things that we have problems with now become non-issues anymore when you can just get a new arm, get a new eye, get a new brain, all those organs. If you have a problem, you just get a new one because you have an infinite supply now because so many teens are unwound. It's crazy. So I am very interested to see where the story went. I also really want to get to Maud by Melanie J. Fishbane. This is a biography sort of Lucy Maud Montgomery's life as a teenager, I think. I want to say it's her childhood through her teen years. I'm not sure. But I just really am interested in reading this. I love the Anne of Green Gables series. I really want to read more about the author because I really don't know hardly anything about her besides that she's Canadian. So I'm very interested to see. And plus, I think this book is beautiful. It's just super pretty. I don't know. I like looking at it. It's a really soothing aesthetic they've got going on here. I want to say this is YA too, so it should be a pretty quick read. So I might be able to squeeze this in. The last book that I'm going to put in this pile, and it's not to say that's the last book you're going to see me talk about this month, but we'll see, is the biography of Joss Whedon by Amy Pascal. And holy crap, I've been anticipating this for years. I heard about this book like maybe 3 years ago. I don't even know anymore. And I've been wanting to read it so badly, and I got it for Christmas, and I haven't had time. My oldest already read it, and she's like, when are you going to read this? This is so good. So I'm putting it in my pile, and we'll see what happens. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to get to it, but I want to, because it's Joss Whedon. It's Joss. I'm so happy just to have it, honestly. And I think the forward is by Nathan Fillion, so come on. I have to read this. I have to. So those are all the books that I am hoping to get to this month, and we'll see how it goes. I have a lot going on. I also just started cataloging all my books. I used to have the Delicious Library set up on my Mac, and I had all of my books, like every book in our house, cataloged, and then I didn't have my Mac anymore, and I lost it, and the program is gone, and I have to start from scratch, and I had to go find a program. I'm using LibIb. I don't know if I like it or not, honestly.
I hate it.
I have some issues. That might be another video, but that's been like what I've been doing. When I'm not working on grade 10, I'm cataloging. So I finally finished almost all the books in this living room. I thought I was done until my daughter brought me 2 piles and it's like, these belong here. So now I'm not done, but I was almost done with the living room, and then I got to do the kitchen books, then I got to do the rest of her books in her room and the books in the hallway that belong to the boys and the books in my room. I don't know why I'm thinking this is a good idea. There's too many books. Anyway, well, that's another video. If you're interested in hearing more about my book cataloging adventures, let me know, and I will make another video all about that for you. So that is all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in my next one. Happy reading. Bye!